Here fresh off week 1 victories. Who can keep it going as we're underway on EA Sports? That'll be taken in the end zone. And the decision to bring it out will cost him about 5 yards as he'll get this only back to the 20.
Buddy up! 45 to Mike. I'm here all day.
Here's Nick Chubb, former prep and collegiate star here in this state at Georgia. Call it officially a loss of 2 on the first play from scrimmage. Second down.
I know when I was a kid, I always got real excited when I saw those lateral-type runs. But the best backs that made it happen, they put a foot in the ground and just go. That didn't happen there. That play got swallowed up.
It'll be a gain of 5, and it's going to bring up a third and about 7 left. We should mention, to go along with a great game he had last week, he was rightfully named AFC Offensive Player of the Week.
And he shares that with his offensive line, the tight end, his fullback. He's looking for more and more of that in this game.
Now Haskins. He's going to loft one deep over the middle. And that will be incomplete. Well, they weren't scared to let it fly, but it falls to the ground and brings up 4th down.
Well, that certainly looked like something that they discussed all week in practice getting ready for this one. Take the big shot right out of the gate. At worst, you'll open up the defense a little bit, loosen them up, have them back on their heels.
The Falcons take over 1st and 10 at their own 24-yard line.
Let's go now. Hey, Reese. The mic right here. We're Mike 40, Mike 40. Come on, baby.
Ito Smith, his first carry. Call it a gain of 4 on first, and that'll make it 2nd down.
I call that play a success. A nice inside run sets up a very manageable 2nd down. A very solid gain on that play.
On 2nd down, it's Smith. And not much, maybe a yard up to the 29.
And the big fella stuffed that one up in a big way. I think doubling him has to be a priority because you can't move up to the next level if you don't take care of him first.
Set. 40 to Pittsburgh. Coming. I'm coming. I'm on track.
From the gun on 3rd down, King. This is Johnson. He's got it. And they nearly get this all the way to midfield. Mark him down at the 49. It's a gain of 20 and picking up the first.
At the 49-yard line.
On the set. 40's Mike. 40's Mike right there. 40's Mike. Coming.
They'll run for the first time with Devontae Freeman. Try to find a lane, but instead he'll get back to the line of scrimmage and no more. Really good stop there by the end in this 4-3 defense.
Yeah, not just pass rushers anymore, are they? Those guys can use their hands, control the point of attack, shed those blockers, and go get those ball carriers.
Staying on the ground, this time it's Smith. And he's going to take this across the 50 into Browns territory. 2 runs in a row, but only 2 yards to show for it.
Typically, we think it's the strong safeties that are better tacklers, especially closer to the line of scrimmage amidst traffic. But in this case, how about the free safety coming up and making the big-time play?
Complete. It's Johnson. And he's going to get this one down to the edge of the red zone. 30 yards there. And, of course, the first down as well.
I know we love our jobs, and pretty much any play we see, we're pretty, excited about. But big plays, let's face it, that's what we absolutely live for. How about that one?
That was great. And what our camera missed was the fist pump from the sideline after that catch. They're fired out. That's a big game. Steps away to his left. And that is incomplete.
I think we'll see more of them trying to get him the football out of the backfield. They love what he can do in open space, and they believe that he creates mismatches they can exploit.
After the incompletion, here's 2nd and 10 from the 20.
Check pass, check pass.
Back to the running game. It's Freeman. And he'll get this one down to about the 17. And now we'll get a stoppage here. There appears to be an injured Falcon on the field. Well, he gets attended to. We'll step aside. This will be the 8th play of the drive. It's 3rd and 7.
Watch the slant. Watch the slant. Watch the slant.
Now King operating from the gun. This is caught. And he'll take it into the end zone. Touchdown, Atlanta. Julio Jones. His 2nd touchdown on the season as his guys are able to strike first here in this opening quarter. Tavecchio good on the extra point, and that makes the score 7-0. Morstead out now following the touchdown to kick. That's fielded in the end zone. And the decision to bring it out is going to cost him about 7 yards all told as he's taken down back shy of the 20. The Browns drive about to get started. And on the first drive, 3 and out. I know that these are professional athletes, but I imagine sometimes you get the nerves at the beginning of a game still, don't you?
Those don't ever go away. And typically what I've heard from guys and what I remember from playing, if you don't have nerves at the start of a game, it's not going to be a great day for you. You're not really ready to play. So finding a way to harness those nerves and not let them affect you in a negative way, that's what all the guys are looking for.
A 2nd down pass play there, but it's incomplete. Jalen Hurd, the intended receiver, and it's 3rd down.
I know coaches tell us all the time that having a powerful arm isn't the #1 thing they look for in a quarterback. But when you're trying to throw inside routes and you need to put some heat on it, it helps to have the big gun. In this case, just a little bit too much.
An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on 3rd down. Now it's Haskins, and the throw there going to be incomplete.
They went with the dive look that time on defense, just flooded the field with defensive backs, blanketed everyone, took away all the passing angles, thus the incompletion.
The Browns send out their punter now, standing just about on his own goal line. That's pulled in at the 32. A good return there, call it 13 yards. And the Falcons will be taking over 1st and 10. The Atlanta offense out there for their next drive. Now, they'll be looking to duplicate the efforts of drive number 1 that resulted in 7 points in the 7-zip lead.
Well, you know how much I enjoy horse racing, right? Looks like they caught a flyer out of the gate, as they would say when you're running the big-time races. Means they get out to a fast start. They're setting the pace, making the other team chase now.
14 yards there and a Falcon 1st down. Back to the ground, this time with Freeman. They're able to push forward for about 4 down to the 37. We haven't seen much from him running the football here in this first quarter.
No, you're right about that. We haven't seen much of him at all so far. They've stacked him up pretty well, but when you're trying to run the football, sometimes you got to play the long game. Keep handing it to him, and some of those runs that aren't working now, they turn into 6, 7, 8, and maybe more later on.
It'll wind up being a loss of 2, and that'll make it 3rd down.
Here we go, let's bring it. Let's go, let's bring it. Let's bring it.
King from the gun, he'll throw. And he's got a man, Calvin Ridley. And they're going to have another 1st down as he's going to be tackled at the Browns' 19. After 1, 7-0 on EA Sports. A 1st down carry for Smith. He'll get forward for 3 down to the 16-yard line.
Some of the most unselfish players on any football team, defensive tackles, because we ask them to just eat up blocks and allow other people to make tackles. But when he can make a play himself, as we just saw there, that's a big day.
Here's King looking to throw on 2nd down. He's just going to dump this one off to his fullback out of the backfield. And he'll get him inside the 15 down to the 14-yard line. They'll get a couple yards on that one. And just like that, it's third down.
Got it. 40's mine. 40's a mine. 40's a mine. 3 bud, 3 bud, 3 bud. Tighten up, tighten up.
Now the ball comes loose.
On plays like this, when the ball comes free, it's often unusual for the team that lost it to get it back. Because this is the quarterback. The ball gets away from him. Everyone else is trying to execute what they're supposed to do on offense. They're usually looking in the other direction, downfield, or have moved away from him. In this case, though, a teammate is able to come up with the ball.
From the 2 now, second and goal. Trying to punch it in with Smith. And he is met in his tracks behind the line of scrimmage. The tally there, minus 2 yards, brings up third down.
It's third down and goal to go.
The Falcons on third down. No problems to this point. A perfect 5 for 5. This is third and goal. Here we go now with Smith. And he's going to be taken down here still a couple yards short of the first. Just a gain of 2 there, and it's going to bring up a fourth down. This is a long drive offensively. Wouldn't you hate to end this with just 3 points?
Doesn't it feel like during a ball game you have certain narratives going on and there's certain drives that seem to take on just a bit more importance than others? This feels like one of those, doesn't it? To me, 3 points here, a major letdown. This is the time to go and put 6 on the board.
That's fielded in the end zone. Oh, a heck of a move.
Man.
He's going to be stopped here with a penalty marker on the field. I'm not sure what this is about. Officials so cognizant of that call nowadays, but that would look pretty easy.
Yeah, you're right. They took out of their hands having to wonder whether it's a 5-yard or a 15-yard inadvertent or not. Now, it's a lot easier. You see it.
Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Grady Jarrett making his presence felt. He gets the sack.
Well, so much for setting the tone of the drive offensively. Giving up a big sack that loses that kind of yardage, not a great start.
So now 20 yards to go on second down after the sack. Work to be done. Haskins will throw. Into double coverage, and it's intercepted. Picked up by Keanu Neal. And his guys will take over at their own 44-yard line. About set to begin their next drive, the Falcons offense at the line. And they had 3 points last time, but they didn't want 3 points because they were well within range of scoring a touchdown. We'll see if they can do better now.
I'm with you on that one. Let's just go ahead and be frank about the whole thing. The only one happy about the 3-point
kicker.
Exactly. He put it through the post. That's going to help him at contract time. But that offense, they're thinking, let's get in the end zone this time.
I don't know if that helped him at contract time. You could have kicked that one through.
I don't know about that. I don't know about that. Super tough.
A 3-yard pickup on second and 4. Now they'll need to convert here on third and a little more than a yard. Looking to throw. King. And that will be incomplete.
Perhaps they overthought this one a little bit. They've been running it real well on this drive, and it was third and short, okay? They decided to throw the football. Incomplete. Yeah, they might have thought just a little bit too hard about that play selection.
And he was called on 3 times in the win last week as his first one here's away. The field position game, such an overlooked facet, Charles, of an NFL game, but this offense, they're going to be pinned back. What an ideal punt.
An ideal punt, and it leads to that term complementary football, because them doing that puts their defense in a great spot, doesn't it? Gives them a chance. If they want to be aggressive, try and maybe get a safety out of this whole thing, it puts them in that position.
And they'll get him down up past the 15. That'll move the sticks for the Browns, a gain of 12.
A gain of 12.
We've hit the 2-minute mark of the first half. 10-0 our score.
Let's go. Let's do it.
A reminder coming up at halftime, we'll head to Orlando. Standing by there, Jonathan Coachman. He'll have stats and scores from around the NFL in his second week of the regular season. Now here's a pass on first down that's knocked away and incomplete. Good coverage that time by the linebacker, Deion Jones.
This defense has been very disruptive early on as they force another one to go awry.
Seems to be the front and the back end. Pass rush, they've been able to get home, and they're taking the ball away in coverage as well.
I love how you put it together. The front and back working in sync, only way to play good defense.
8 yards on the completion, but now they face third down.
In today's football, where receivers break tackles, make people miss, get upfield for the extra yardage, when you see a play like that where it's caught and he's dropped on the spot, that's a big-time play by the defense.
Now a third down throw, but it misses the target, incomplete. Problems on third down so far in this first half. Relatively small sample size, but they're now 0 for 3.
And the average in the league, somewhere around 40% on third down for offenses. So what's the answer to this? Either convert them or don't get to third down in the first place. Get your big chunks of yards on first and second down.
Let's go, let's go, let's go.
At their own 23-yard line.
The Atlanta offense out there for their next drive. Still more than a minute to go, so there is time if they want to mount something here.
Not only time, but they have 3 timeouts at their disposal as well. So that changes everything that you're doing here. Without those timeouts, you can only work the sidelines, hoping to get out of bounds. Here, the middle of the field's still available because you can call timeout and regroup.
Here's 2nd and 8. And that'll be incomplete. Took a pretty good shot as he tried to pull that one in. Couldn't hang on third down.
That's very well timed there defensively because it's not a bad throw, but the collision came at the exact time he was reaching to bring in the football. Really, really well done.
Decent offense, just better defense. I think you're right. Back to throw. King going for the deep ball. Into a double team, and it's intercepted. Derwin James with a pick. And to the 40-yard line, that's where the return stops.
And that's a great example of ball skills right there, partner. You and I do a lot of games, and I can't tell you how many guys look to run with the football before they've intercepted it. So that's a nice job of focusing on the task at hand and coming away with the interception.
Now after the turnover, here's Haskins. Haskins hit, and he lost the football. And the Falcons grab it. And they're going to set up shop at the 40-yard line. He let one slip away last week as well, so now 2 fumbles lost in as many weeks.
Well, we were out at practice, and we watched him work. And what did his quarterback coach talk about all week?
Being a two-hand monster.
And we looked at each other. Two-hand. Oh, I get it. Two-hand monster. Both hands on the football. Taking care of it, putting it away so the ball doesn't get dropped.
Now the first play of the drive there is incomplete. So 2nd down and 10. Once again, they'll go from the 40.
Hey, watch it, watch it.
From the gun, it's a run for Freeman. Just a gain of a yard there, and now it'll be 3rd down.
That play reminded me a lot of a former teammate of mine. We used to call him the trash man. His ability to sift through traffic and make plays was uncanny.
And that's exactly what you want from your Mike linebacker. Looking to throw. King. He's going to let this go for the end zone. Incomplete. And we're down to 8 seconds now.
Intended for Julio Jones. Incomplete. Results in a 4th down.
So now they're going to send out the field goal unit to, as they say, fire away from long distance. This will be from 56 yards out. And his kick is good. He got every bit of that one as it's good from 56 yards out. So a big play before the end of the half to get him into this spot, and they cash in with 3.
How about the 1-2 to the solar plexus on that one? The big play, the field goal, not much time left on the clock. That's the way to go into the half.
So we've reached the intermission in what right now is a 13-point game as we send you down to Orlando where Jonathan Coachman has our EA Sports halftime report. Coach, the Falcons back to receive. They've got the lead, and they'll get this football as the second half gets underway. That's fielded in the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. About set to begin their next drive, the Falcons offense at the line. They built a good first half lead. Now they have a chance to add on to it.
And what I'm thinking is that the offensive staff spent the entire halftime just working with them on, here's what we think they're going to do to attack us in the second half. Nice first half that we've had, guys, but be prepared for some change-ups. We're going to see them when we kick it off in the second half.
See how they handle any adjustments that might be made defensively. Now left side, a completion to his tight end. And he'll get to the 29-yard line, brought down there.
Brandon, perfect defense in this situation would have meant that there was an incompletion. They would have picked it off. Okay, so they gave up the completion. But I really enjoyed watching how the defense stayed in sync, stayed in great communication. And as he dragged across each zone, you see him pointing, communicating. There he is, and they passed him off to each defender. Ended up making a nice play, even though it was complete.
Now throwing on third down there, but he cannot connect. Here's Thomas Morstead now, as he'll kick it away for the second time. He gets us away. It's a good one, drawing toward the sidelines. And no return here. Where will they spot it? They say just outside the 20-yard line. The Browns drive about to get started. They trail offense, first time to touch the ball in quarter 3, and we'll see what they can do.
And I can't wait to see what they have planned, because some teams script to start a half. Other teams just go, okay, these are the sequence of plays we want to run. These things worked well for us. And sometimes they throw in that big chunk play right away.
Shocker.
Try and get after them early and try and create a big play to get
nowhere to escape, and he goes down.
So one quick, easy analysis about why they've struggled so far. They keep putting themselves in third and long situations. They just took another sack right there.
And the offensive film session tomorrow may be a little longer than it normally is.
Not a lot of positive grades will be handed out thus far.
Under pressure again, and down he goes again.
That's his second sack of the game, and the best defensive ends, they do their homework as much as offensive guys do. They know how to beat the offensive lineman across from them, what moves they need to do to set them up. This guy's been pretty good at it all game long.
And this punt goes out of bounds, and it'll be marked inside the 40. The Atlanta offense out there for their next drive. This crew had to punt last time they had the ball, but when you've got a lead like this, you content to play the field position game?
You are to an extent, especially if you like your defense, because you have the lead, you've been controlling the game. But why put them in a tougher spot? You want to get out there and get something done on offense and maybe take command of this game yourself.
Now a fake on the give here as they try the run-pass option. Well, it was second long. Now it's third and even longer. They're going in the wrong direction here.
Because they're moving exactly the way they want to, but you're exactly right. Definitely going in the wrong direction for the offensive guys.
King now, throwing on third and long. It's caught. Jones. He had the touchdown earlier. This one's going to get him a first down. On the draw, this will be Freeman. And he's got this down to the 35. 12 yards is the pickup. Good for a first down for the Falcons.
Running lanes were at a premium in the first half, but he's able to find some room there, and he's hoping that that's a precursor of a big second half.
Ball up to the 35 now as they come up on 1st and 10. Here's a run on first down that doesn't accomplish anything. In fact, he's going to be tackled behind the line for a loss of 1. Now, they struggled to get him rolling on the ground in the first half, and that's sort of continuing here in the third quarter.
Yeah, but I don't think it's time to abandon the running game. I would say keep feeding the horse, and I believe he'll eventually reward them, especially as we get deeper in the game.
Back of the end zone. Could he get his feet down? No, it's incomplete.
We've seen good cover skills on display throughout this game, really from both teams, and there's another nice example there of them making it difficult to complete a pass.
An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on third down. To throw is King, operating from the gun. And a big loss here as he's taken down. In for the sack, Myles Garrett. Great job defensively. I think he was trying to go through his progressions, find someone to get rid of the football. Before he knew it, he was on his back.
So that just brings us right back to what you said in the beginning. A great job defensively. Nowhere to go with the football. That led to the sack.
And this will be out of bounds at the what here? The 12-yard line. The Browns drive about to get started. These guys had to punt their last possession, and that's become too familiar of a refrain. Too many of these drives just wound up going nowhere.
But you know how in baseball, when the pitcher gets a base hit and he's on base, they bring his jacket out to him to keep him warm? A lot of times the punter goes to the sideline, puts on sweatpants or a wrap over his leg to keep it warm. He might need a massage from the trainer right now from all the work he's getting.
They run it again with Chubb, and they're going to get him behind the line yet again as his nightmare afternoon continues. No gain on that one as it brings up a 3rd and 10. This offense in desperate need of a conversion as they come up on 3rd down.
45, 45, 45, Mike, 45.
3rd down, here's Haskins. Open man is heard, it's complete. And he'll get this up to the 30-yard line. Big yardage there for the Browns, 18. Even though this offense doesn't have a single point to its name, they're not totally out of this game yet. A touchdown here, they could be in business.
And how about that last play? Now they've got momentum going, so you know I'm a big advocate. Get back on the line of scrimmage. Throw another play at them while you've got them rocked on their heels.
Now Haskins on 1st down. He'll find Hall. And getting this just shy of midfield, they'll spot it at the 49. Another big gainer that time. This one goes for 19 yards.
1st down, Browns.
Down. Let's go. Here we go. Tight as Ringo.
Haskins looking to throw on 1st down. And he's going to go down. They sack him back at the 42. Tack McKinley able to get in there for his 2nd sack of the afternoon. Protection certainly going to need to be a bit better here on 2nd and 16.
You don't know no better. Hey, check Mike 45. Check Mike 45.
On 2nd down, here's Haskins. Throw left side complete. It's Hall. And he'll get it down here to the 43. It'll be a pickup of 15 as that'll lead to 3rd down. The Browns on 3rd down. Just 1 for 5 to this point. This time they face a 3rd and 2. 3rd and 2, now Haskins. Catch is made by Hurd. And that's going to be good for another 1st down as the tackle's made at the Falcons' 31-yard line. And in a 2-score game, obviously, every play, every 3rd down, like we saw there, magnified, big pickup.
It was a huge pickup. What they really want, though, is to not even get to 3rd down. They've got to maximize time and conserve as much as possible.
And he fires one that's intercepted. Isaiah Oliver with the INT. And he will score. Touchdown, Falcons. That's the story of the game. They've been suffocating all game long on defense. They were suffocating there again in a big way.
And they've done it not just by out-athleting them, which is often the case, but by being able to adjust to anything they tried to throw at them and beating them into the punch each and every time. This was a defense that was well prepared.
And he'll get into the end zone as the 2-point conversion is successful. So they'll get another shot on offense following that pick 6. And now the kick is away. This is fielded a couple yards deep. And a pretty good return here. He'll be stopped just shy of the 25 at the 24-yard line.
At their own 24-yard line.
The Browns drive about to get started. And let's face it, this drive is not going to have any bearing on this game, but it's kind of important for one reason, isn't it?
It certainly is. You got to get points. And okay, all right, I'm being facetious here, but you get points, you feel a little bit better about yourself as you move on to the next one.
Throwing to start the drive, but that one incomplete. From the 24, they'll go again on 2nd and 10. 2nd and 10 now. Haskins. that'll be incomplete. Good protection that time, and they couldn't hook up on the long one. Now it's third down. Another incompletion. You know, it's a wonder he's still moving around back there the number of times he's been sacked.
Yeah, he's staying out there, isn't he? And you don't think about it much in a game like this, but he's showing incredible leadership. Still competing, still fighting, not taking himself out of a ball game that appears lost.
Oh, a scrap for the football, and he's going to come down with it. How about 25 yards on third down? They'll take it. Well, they've been struggling in the passing game. Do you like the aggressiveness there? I mean, it worked on that play, but do you like it?
I do, because a lot of the time you're struggling because your passing lanes are clogged. That usually happens when you're throwing the ball underneath. People start to press up on you. Push them deep. Find some space and open things up again. Being aggressive there, I think, will pay off for them.
That's over 40 yards of movement with those last two plays. From Falcon territory now, here's 1st and 10. Down at the 33. Throwing now, Haskins on 1st down. Looking left side, it's complete. He's got it. And they'll work it inside the 15-yard line before it's all said and done. That is now 19-yard gains on back-to-back plays. Finally, a first red zone opportunity for these guys. It's 1st and 10 at the 14.
45. Mike, 45.
On 1st down, it's Haskins. And lucky to get away with one there. That one nearly picked. 2nd down. Just nothing there again. He's been sacked multiple times. We've seen the interceptions, of course. He's really been through the ringer, hasn't he?
And what we've seen is a defense that's well coordinated. The front and the back really in sync. The front putting on the pressure.
And now a fumble. The ball's out. And the Falcons grab it. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back.
Okay, this isn't one where you want to take the game tape and hold it up as an example, do you? I mean, you talk about frustrating all the way through. And that last error, I think that crystallizes it, doesn't it?
Absolutely. That's been representative of their entire game still being shut out. They'll start on the ground. It's Ito Smith. And he'll take this forward only up to about the 7. 2 yards on the carry there. It'll be 2nd down. And when do they start thinking about burning these timeouts? They've got all 3 still defensively.
To me, you have to start right now. Here's the time, and that means you've got to stop them on defense, not give up the yardage, use your timeouts in order to get the ball back and try and score yourself. But now is the time to start using those timeouts.
And keep in mind, it'll also stop the clock at the 2-minute warning. Now King on 3rd down. He completes it to Jones. And he's brought down, but not before they get it across the 20-yard line. It's a gain of 13 and a 1st down for Atlanta. So it's Falcon football as we welcome you back. And no doubt what they're looking to do is just salt away the final couple of minutes and escape with a win. He's got daylight. He's at the 50, 30, past the 20. Touchdown, Falcons. Ito Smith, 78 yards. And the Falcons push further out in front. Looking like they're well on their way to a 2-0 start. All smiles right now on that sideline, isn't it?
As well there should be. It's hard to win a game in the NFL. We hear it all the time. We know that it's difficult. But guess who's smiling? But inside is thinking 24-hour rule because we're going to have to play again next week.
Boss man.
Oh, without a doubt. The head coach, he wants them to feel good, but at the same time, find a way to keep improving.
And a nice return sets him up pretty good here at the 30-yard line. The Browns drive about to get started. They're down big here late. I don't know. You just one last drive here for pride?
Some people like to do that. I remember playing for a guy once. We were down huge, and someone said, "Coach, what do you want to call?" He just waved a hand like, who cares? Let's get out of here and do something some other time. But some teams like to do something at the end to feel a little bit better as they continue to move forward.
Yeah, probably just want to put this one behind them. He's going to let it flop, and that's caught inside the 35. And he takes this one down almost all the way to the 30. That's a gain of 31 with right around 1 minute to go in the quarter. So the big play changes the complexion of things. Here's 1st and 10 just outside the 30. And now a throw on first down there, but it's incomplete.
This defense is continuing to contest every deep ball that is thrown downfield. And, look, it doesn't matter whether you're playing man or zone. Eventually that becomes man on man, and you've got to trust yourself and go up at that moment of truth and make a play on the football.
To throw once more on 2nd and 10. Haskins nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Tack McKinley getting him once again his 3rd sack of the afternoon. Now Haskins, 3rd and long. And he's going to go down again. Now the Browns will use the first of their 3 timeouts as they get it with just 19 seconds left on the clock. And how about this? 4th and long, and they're going to go for it.
Bring it. Bring it. Watch safety creep. Watch safety creeping. Safety's creeping. Peek in. Peek in. Peek in.
They'll try and throw for it with Haskins. And the pressure gets to him again. They had to go for it with such little time remaining, and it'll be a turnover on downs. Very good starting field position for the Falcons offense as they come up 1st and 10 right at the 50-yard line.
It's a loss of a yard. Brings up 2nd and 11 at their 49-yard line.
So time runs out. It's a victory for the Atlanta Falcons. And this was truly a total team effort, Charles, on both sides of the ball.
Well, they absolutely pitched a shutout, so it can't get much better than that, right? The defense led the way, but the offense did their part as well. They moved the ball up and down the field. So you've got to like what you saw. What do they call that? A total team effort? I think when it's time to hand out game balls, guys from both sides will end up getting one.
So for the Falcons, it's a win here in their home opener as they move to 2-0. And they will hit the road next week to take on the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. Meanwhile, for the Browns, they'll fall to 1-1. And they'll get a chance to redeem themselves